And may the odds be ever in your favor. Welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph. We're about to discuss The Hunger Games, the one to set it all off. Definitely intrigued. And welcome back to another Retro Rewind. Quickly, any media on this has to be 5 years or older. Once more, for the people in the back. 5 years or older, and it qualifies, and we can review, and we can discuss, and we can chat. The Hunger Games, if you haven't seen it, spoiler warning, I guess, just in case, or if you haven't read it. Although there are vast differences, there's some small ones and some big ones, like the way she gets the pin in the book. It was a gift from, I think, the mayor's daughter, if I remember. I only read the first 2 books, so let me get that out the way. You meet Peeta's dad on the train, if I remember correctly, but in the movie, neither one of those. I remember Haymitch falls off the stage in the book during the reaping. He's not even at the reaping in the movie, so there's changes, but if I'm jumping into the changes, the biggest change for me, or the 2 biggest changes that I would have loved to see, was the actual design of those like demon hell dogs to end it. The mutts would have preferred the book version have the eyes of like the dead tributes, and it kind of made it a little bit more creepy. They would walk upright occasionally in the book, so it made them feel more ghoulish, a little bit more menacing, a little more not demonic but monsters versus these giant like bulldog looking creatures. My second biggest one, of course, there's a few more I would have liked to see on screen. Like the biggest thing is seeing more of the other tributes. Like, wow, Katniss was out, you see a bit more of Rue, or you read more about Rue and what she's doing because of the Tracker Jackers. Or a big one for me was Kato versus Thresh. I would have loved to see that fight because in the book it's a big part. I mean, I could be remembering this incorrectly, but it felt like a chapter. I would have loved to see that come to life on screen. I think it would have allowed for a little bit more intensity, kind of develop the world a little bit better. I understand they were focused on Katniss and Peeta. I never liked Peeta. I didn't like him in the movies. I didn't like him in the books. Homeboy should have died a long time ago, but that's besides the point. I didn't trust him after he told her like shoot straight or whatever. But when he said that, I was like, he's trying to get in your head. Don't trust him. Take him out as soon as you get a chance. Outside of those changes or differences, when I saw the movie, I hadn't read the book yet. It was the movie that actually inspired me to read the book, and I read the first 2. I really do enjoy the first movie. I think the first movie's fun. I like the aspects. I mean, you love Cinna. How do you not love Haymitch, Effie? The way they brought the characters to life, although different, I thought they were really well done. I enjoyed it so much, I wanted more. So like my biggest issue with the first movie, we don't dive deep into the world that they were building as much as we do in the book. I understand time and, can't do everything, but I would love to see more of the gamekeeper, see more of their behind the screen working to mess with the players, a little bit more of the players interacting with the game and stuff versus the quick deaths. This one moment here, this one moment there, nothing, quick death. I would have preferred we could have spent a little bit more time, give them another 15 minutes to really develop that Hunger Games, that big pivotal moment that is the first one. I still enjoy this movie. I rewatch them occasionally. I watched the first one to talk about it here, and there was no way I was watching just the first one. I watched them all. Overall, to this day, and like I said before, did it age well? Is it rewatchable? Rewatchability, I clearly answered. I think it's very rewatchable. I enjoyed the first movie. Now, did it age well? This one felt a little tricky because I think there's a lot about it that did age very well. There's a few moments here and there that aren't my favorite or like particularly disliked. And I was trying to take my bias out of it because my bias is in media, yes, because I enjoy these movies. I enjoy the story. I love the characters. My favorite are usually the side characters, these other characters that show up. Even with that bias removed to the best of my abilities, I do think it aged well. I think you go right now and watch it, and you're not going to have any issues not with the visuals. The story's still well done, and I think it still represents the book well enough to be a true creation of something with source material. Yes, they've made changes. They always make changes, and I'm a stickler. I've said it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it forever. If anything has source material or lore, pre-existing lore, things like that, you shouldn't change too much. And this includes real life events, anything historic. If there's pre-existing material, then I don't think you should be changing too much. I always feel like as Hollywood, and you're trying to make this spectacle, a movie, a show, you're gonna add to it, which I'm for that. Add to the story, add to the background of this character that didn't get enough love, that should have, or play with it that way. And I think these movies did a well enough job, at least the first one, The Hunger Games, did a well enough job of bringing to life the book, and I can still rewatch it. I think it aged just fine. There's a few moments when the CG's, but I mean, it's also how many years old now, so I'm not really nitpicking at that. I still enjoy it. I want to hear your thoughts. Did you prefer the book to the movie? I mean, I know that's kind of like a loaded question because it's almost 9 times out of 10 the book. And which of the 4 is your favorite of the movies? Not because there's only 3 books. Well, technically there's 4 with this prequel, but of the Hunger Games, the original classic, which one of the books is your favorite? Which one of the films is your favorite? Did you enjoy the adaptation that was brought to life in the first movie, in the origin, The Hunger Games? And we can get into the rest if you like, but you gotta let me know, like I said, down below. I enjoyed it. Rewatchable? Yes. Did it age well? Yes. I would still recommend it. If you haven't seen it, I say check them out. I think you'll enjoy it. At least the first one for sure. Especially now that we're diving into songbirds and snakes. I have to remember the title. But we'll check that out. We'll discuss that separately. I love chatting with y'all. But until next time, stay safe, be well, y con mucho amor. Adios.